my marker? All right. Hi. Can't find my marker. Let's see if this one works. Oh yeah, that one worked great. Hello. So today, happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. We're going to be talking about the area model of division. So if you remember, we have the four-square method or the box method with multiplication. This is the same thing, but it's going in reverse. One thing though with division is it gets a little tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually not bad. The main thing you need to get the hang of is that today you get to decide which multiples you want to divide by, or you want to think of easy multiples. Those are called compatible numbers. So let me show you what that looks like. So let's say, for example, I had 96 divided by 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my box. I'm put my 6 out here, and I'm going to leave those two there. I'm not going to fill in 90 and 6 yet. With multiplication, that just doing it by place value works really easy. Division, though, it doesn't work quite as smooth because your division might not break up by place value. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to think of a number that's a multiple of 6 that's less than 96 that I know of. I'm just going to think of my multiples and try and find a multiple of 6 that's less than 96. So the multiple I'm going to think of is 60. So basically what I'm doing is I'm breaking down 96 into 60 plus another number. We'll get to the other number in a second. So all I did is I just said, hey, I'm going to say that 60 is a multiple of 6 that's less than 96. So 6 goes into 60 10 times. Now I have to ask myself, 60 plus what number equals 96? Well, I could divide that, 96 minus 60, and that equals 36. So that means that 36 is going to go into that other box. So 36 goes into 36 6 times. So up here, these are called my partial quotients, or they're part of my final quotient, which is the answer to my division problem. So this would be 10 plus 6 to equal 16. So 96 divided by 6 equals 16. And again, all I did was I just thought of a multiple of 6 that was less than 96. I did 60 because multiples of 10s are always going to be easy to deal with. And I highly recommend that you, when you're doing these, all the ones I do today, the first one I'm going to do a multiple of 10 just because it's easy. This method, once you kind of get the hang of it, it can actually go really fast. It's a little bit brain bending at first, but it's not bad in the long run. So we're going to practice this way today and then tomorrow, and then we'll move into some other division stuff later in the week. So let's try another one. Let's say I have, let's do 91 divided by 7. So again, I'm just going to break this up. I've got two boxes, and I'll put 7 here on the outside. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take an easy multiple of 7 that I can use that's less than 91. An easy multiple. You could pick 21, you could pick 42, you could pick 49. Me personally, I'm always going to deal with multiples of 10 whenever possible. That goes for multiplication and division. Whenever I can have a multiple of 10, I'm going to use it. So I'm going to put 70 in the middle there. 70 is a multiple of 10, or sorry, 70 is a multiple of 7 that's less than 91. It also happens to be a multiple of 10, which makes it easy to work with. So 7 goes into 70 10 times. Now I'm going to say, okay, 91, I've broken it down into 70, so I have to think of 70 plus what number equals 91. I'm using that distributive property where we can break numbers down into smaller facts that we know. So 70 plus 21 equals 91. So I'm going to put 21 in this box. 7 goes into 21. 3 times. So I've got two partial quotients up there. I have 70 divided by 7 equals 10, and I have 21 divided by 7 equals 3. Together, that 10 and 3 is going to equal 13. So 91 divided by 7 equals 13. Now here are a couple things that you have to have right in order to make sure that you're doing this correctly. Thing one, these two boxes, they have to add up to your dividend, or the number you're dividing by, or the divisor, sorry, the divisor. These two numbers, the 70 and 21, they have to add up to 91. That's thing one you have to make sure of. Thing two you have to make sure of is that this number is a multiple of 7 and that number is a multiple of 7. Those are really the two things that you have to work with. Now there's a reason we don't do it by place value with division. Let me show you why. Some students will be tempted to go, oh, 91 is the same thing. Sorry, let me redo that. Draw my boxes first. They'll say, oh, 91 is the same thing as 90 plus 1. But then all of a sudden you're having to do 7 to 90, so you're having to do a calculation in order to do your calculation, and then 7 can't even go into 1. So because with division they don't break off neatly at the tens, we don't break it off by place value. What we do is we find easy multiples or compatible numbers that we can use that add together. I always just do a multiple of 10 first off. I always do, and I just see what the leftover is and do the leftover. Let's try another one. Let's say, for example, we had 85 divided by 5. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw my box. I'm going to break it into two smaller boxes. I'm going to put a 5 out here on the outside. Now in this first box, I'm going to pick a multiple of 5. That's an easy multiple of 5 for me to deal with. I'm going to pick a big one too. I've already said that I will always pick a multiple of 10 whenever I can. I will always pick a multiple of 10. So let's see, 5, a multiple of 10, that's less than 85, that's also a multiple of 5, is 50. And 5 goes into 50 10 times. That's a basic fact that we know. So to get from 50 plus a number, remember this number has to add with the 50 to equal 85. 50 plus a number to equal 85, and that would be 35. And if you can't do the math in your head, then you need to subtract that out. So that means this number is 35. 5 goes into 35 7 times. So then 10 plus 7 is 17. So that means 85 divided by 5 is equal to 17. Let's try one more. All right, this one. 68 divided by 4. I'll do the same thing. I'm going to draw my two boxes, my 2 square, I guess. I want you to think, what number is Mr. D going to put here? Can you predict my behavior? And guess what I'm going to do? You got it? You are right. I am going to pick 10 multiples of 4. I'm going to pick 4 times 10, which is 40. I'm always going to do a multiple of 10 in this one. That's also a multiple of 4. So that box, I'm going to do 40. Now I have to ask myself, 40 plus what number equals 68? Well, that's 40 plus 28. So 4 goes into 40 10 times. 4 goes into 28 7 times. I add my partial quotients together to get 17. Now remember, a couple things. This box here, don't break it up by place value. Sometimes you can, but more often than not, it gets you into trouble. Now, if breaking it up into place value is going to give you easy multiples, then go for it. But if there's not easy multiples in these two boxes, then the Foursquare or this box method, this area model, isn't going to do you any good. So that's the first thing. Okay, and I'm always going to do this number times 10 for that first box. I always am. Also, always make sure that these two numbers add up to equal the 68. This 40 and the 28, they have to equal 68. And these two numbers have to be able to be divisible by 4. If those things don't happen, then the area model isn't going to be any good. That's just the rule. That's the way it has to work for it to work efficiently. So I hope that you have gotten something out of watching this today. We're going to do 2 digits today and then 3 digits tomorrow. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the creature trail, as Nolan would say. Bye-bye.